As a kid, I often heard people say when they thought something was very unlikely or completely untrue, yeah, when pigs can fly. Now I'm concerned that people may actually believe pigs can fly. I mean, after all, we have a culture of humans who identify as cats, puppies, other furry animals. We have psychologists, and sociologists, medical experts, and politicians declaring that there's not just male and female genders, but there may be an infinite number of human genders. Governor Kotek of Oregon State has signed into legislation that proficiency testing in English, math, and reading is no longer required for a student to graduate from high school and receive their diploma. In fact, there are only 6 states in the United States that require such proficiency testing for high school graduation. There are Florida, Ohio, Louisiana, New Jersey, Virginia, and Texas. Maybe that's why we're seeing a growing level of illiteracy and inability to distinguish between truth and distortion. What should we be doing in view of these facts? Well, that's today's topic on Foundational You.
Welcome to Foundational You with Dr. Dean, a hard-hitting biblical perspective of cultural issues and Christian topics, addressing them with solid biblical answers. Dr. Dean also looks honestly and forthrightly at historical crossroads which disciples of Jesus Christ are now facing, with total commitment to the infallible and inerrant Word of God. Without apology, he speaks the truth with a heart and spirit of love, mercy, and grace. Now let's join Dr. Dean as he looks at today's topic.
The Apostle Paul wrote to his spiritual son Timothy about a time and season in which we're living. 1 Timothy chapter 4, verses 1 and 2 read, "Now the Spirit expressly says that in latter times some will depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of demons, speaking lies in hypocrisy, having their own conscience seared with a hot iron." Paul was saying there's going to come a time when people will speak lies in their hypocrisy. Like right now, our politicians, federal, state, local, will tell us what they think we want to hear, even though they have no intention of following through with that. The historical rewrite and distortion of human sexuality, all the while knowing that no amount of surgery or hormone therapy will ever make a man into a woman or a woman into a man. It's more than just about the plumbing. It is about the very hardwiring that makes a difference between a man and a woman. The human differences of the internal body parts that are missing from one gender and from the other gender. Lies being told in hypocrisy. Lies being told in hypocrisy. Doctrines of demons that are being portrayed on the big screen, on the web, and in printed materials. Gospel preaching churches are slowly moving into these areas, and maybe not so slowly right now. They're embracing doctrinal positions that are in compliance with political correctness and the DEI standards. But the grave danger is what King David wrote about in Psalm 11 when he wrote, "If the foundations be destroyed, what can the righteous do?" Indeed, what can the righteous do when foundational principles are completely expunged from a culture? When people choose to embrace lies, deceptions, and distortions, the foundations of every good and wholesome and lovely and healthy for the soul and well-being of individuals is removed. Please hear that again. When people choose to embrace lies, distortions, deceptions, the foundation of everything good, wholesome, lovely, and that make for a healthy soul and well-being of individuals is removed from that culture. And gateway is open for demons to bring every vile, wicked, evil, and destructive influence. Good becomes evil, evil becomes good, right becomes wrong, wrong becomes right. The only hope and solution is for the disciples of Jesus Christ to arise and become exactly what Jesus said we were to be. We must become a beacon of light in the darkness, and we must become very powerful and tasteful, flavorful salt, so that we are impacting the culture, not the culture impacting the church. And right now, we're seeing the culture impact the church. We must see a remnant rise up of disciples of Jesus Christ who will boldly find their voice again and speak the truth, speak it with love, with great amount of love, but without compromise. Jude, the brother of Jesus, wrote a solemn command to the disciples of Jesus Christ when he wrote, "I found it necessary to write to you, exhorting you to contend earnestly for the faith which was once for all delivered to the saints." Why did he feel that compunction and find it necessary to write such a thing? Because, he went on to say, because there have been those who have creeped in unaware, and they are changing the doctrine, they're changing the teaching, and they're bringing in things that are contrary to that body of truth that has been once for all delivered into the trust and care of the saints. Disciples of Jesus Christ, God has chosen to vouchsafe into our hands, to place into our trust and our responsibility for ensuring the truth is protected and kept, and that it is taught and passed on accurately to the next generation. It is really important that we boldly proclaim the truth, the spreading of the truth without compromise. Postmodern deconstructive philosophy and ideology has lied to the last 4 generations. And it's not a matter of someone finding their own truth or believing, well, your truth may be divergent from my truth. No, if it's truth, it stands for all people, for all cultures, for all generations, because truth doesn't change. It's truth. Truth is solid and steadfast. The very statement that there are many truths is contradictory in and of itself. If it's truth, it doesn't change. There can't be many truths. There is one truth. So we got to ask ourselves then, how do we discover truth? And where do we find it? How do we discover truth and where do we find it? Well, that's going to be our next podcast. I look forward to you joining me again on Foundational You.
You have been listening to Foundational You with Dr. Dean. If this podcast has strengthened your faith and been insightful to you, please hit that like button and ring the notification bell to help others discover Foundational You. It will be so encouraging to us. Be sure to subscribe and encourage your family and friends to join the podcast as well so they can grow in their faith. It is your financial support that enables us to offer this podcast and our other resources at no cost to you. It is so simple. Just go to fdeanhackett.com and scroll down to the donate button. While there, you will find other resources that will strengthen your faith. Until next time, remember, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you.